patuloy na nagbibigay serbisyo. Pag-asa at saya. GMA Regional TV. Kapuso ng bawat Pilipino. This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News.
Good evening. This is your GMA Regional TV Weekend News. The biggest, the latest as local news matters. Attorney Cedfrey Cabaluna.
Caitlin Revilla, broadcasting from GMA Complex in Iloilo City.
We'd like to welcome our Kapuso viewers from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao,
as well as our kababayans in different parts of the world.
This evening, we will be joined by King Guevara from Balitang Amyanan, Adrian Prietos from One Western Visayas, and Rial Soroche of One Mindanao. It seems our gentlemen correspondents are on the line tonight.
You are right, attorney, and we also have other counterparts from the other regions. Joining us tonight, Rain Palino of GMA RTV BICOL, Daryl Marie Sarmiento of One Western Visayas, and Luan May Rondina of Balitang Bisda.
Our lady correspondents are equally ready too. So for today's headlines. Philippines COVID-19 recoveries now at 7,378 as cases reach 28,459. Death toll increases to 1,130. Cebu City LGU arrests quarantine violators amid stricter quarantine measures. 28 BFP6 personnel face investigation over Boracay Despedida party. GMA Regional TV continues to extend help to families in cities of Iloilo and Dagupan. And let's pay tribute to the sacrifices of hardworking fathers who persevere despite difficult circumstances. The number of COVID-19 cases continues to increase. Worldwide, the number of people infected has breached the 8 million mark. In the Philippines, confirmed cases nears 29,000. Adrian Prietos of GMA Regional TV 1 Western Visayas will give us the update live. Adrian?
Yes, said COVID-19 cases in the Philippines has yet again increased this week according to the Department of Health. While the number escalates as many ports and airports and many parts of the country resume its operations, local government units and local IATFs remain vigilant amid the threats of this global health pandemic. There are now around over 8.3 million COVID-19 confirmed cases around the globe, with more than 450,000 deaths, as reported by the World Health Organization. Southeast Asian countries recorded more than 500,000 confirmed cases, with 541,041. In the Philippines, as of the latest update from the Department of Health, the number of COVID-19 cases climbed to 28,459. 7,378 have recovered, while 1,130 died. In North Central Luzon, there are 909 COVID-19 confirmed cases, with 82 deaths and 617 recoveries. According to the latest report from the DOH Center for Health Development, Region 1 has 104 confirmed cases. Region 3, or Central Luzon, has now 697 COVID-19 cases. 108 confirmed cases are recorded in the Cordillera region. Confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the BICOL region is at 86, with 5 deaths and 70 recoveries. The 86 confirmed BICOL case is a 37-year-old Filipino male from Owas, Albay who had a history of exposure to BICOL patient number 78. He's a nurse and a 28th health worker who tested positive for COVID-19 in the region. Albay has 64 cases, 14 in Camarines Sur, 4 in Camarines Norte, 1 in Sorsogon, and 3 in Catanduanes. Province of Masbate has still no COVID-19 case. In Central Visayas, there are 5,604 COVID-19 positive cases. 2,475 of them have recovered and 151 have died. Cebu Province has 573 cases. 375 of these are active. 53 died while 145 have recovered. Negros Oriental has 21 cases with 17 recoveries and 2 deaths. Bohol has 18 cases, 7 have recovered and 1 died, while Siquijor remains to be COVID-free. Meanwhile, Cebu City COVID-positive cases continue to rise with 104 new cases as of June 19. Cebu City has the highest number of positive cases with 4,241. 2,066 have recovered, while death toll is at 64. Mandaue has 512 positive cases. 170 have recovered and 14 have died. LAPU-LAPU City has 239 positives, of whom 152 are active, 70 have recovered, and 17 died. In Eastern Visayas, according to DOH Region 8, a total of 344 COVID cases are recorded, with 39 recoveries and no deaths. Tacloban City has 22 confirmed cases, while Ormoc City has 42 COVID-positive cases. Leyte has 59 confirmed cases. Southern Leyte with 33, Biliran with 5, while Samar has 75 COVID cases. Northern Samar with 7, and 1 in Eastern Samar. COVID-19 cases in Western Visayas increased to 164, with 109 recoveries. The death toll remains at 11. Aklan has 6 confirmed cases, 14 in Antique, 6 in Capiz, 23 in Iloilo Province, and 3 in Negros Occidental. Guimaras is still COVID-free. OFW repatriates and locally stranded individuals record the most number of cases with 81. Meanwhile, Bacolod City recorded 11 confirmed cases, while Iloilo City has 20. In Mindanao, a total of 895 confirmed COVID-19 cases were reported. The death toll is now at 50, while 513 have recovered. The town of Magsaysay in Davao del Sur has recorded its first COVID-19 case. A 35-year-old male from Dalawinon, Davao region, has recorded a total of 447 confirmed COVID-19 cases, 31 deaths, and 298 recoveries. Meanwhile, in Zamboanga City, a 42-year-old male from Barangay Salaan who died before his swab test results turned out positive for COVID-19. He is the 5th COVID-19 death case in Zamboanga Peninsula. The region has now 206 confirmed COVID-19 cases, 5 deaths, with 153 recoveries. In northern Mindanao, a 1-year-old girl is the youngest COVID-19 case in the region. The region's confirmed COVID-19 cases rose to 61, while the number of deaths is at 9 and 21 have already recovered. Meanwhile, the town of Alabel in Sarangani Province has reported its first COVID-19 case, a 28-year-old female who is a returning OFW from Manila. SOCCSKSARGEN has now a total of 48 confirmed cases, 1 death, and 22 recoveries. CARAGA region recorded 24 new confirmed cases yesterday, bringing the total to 56. The region also has 7 recoveries. BARRM has a jump in the number of cases after 51 COVID-19 positives were recorded in Lanao del Sur since last Saturday, mostly locally stranded individuals and returning OFWs. The region has a total of 77 confirmed COVID-19 cases and 4 deaths, while 12 have already recovered. Said health authorities remain active in their campaign to follow health protocols, while local police authorities reported an increase in the number of violators who fail to observe physical distancing, apart from those who are not wearing their face mask. Back to you, Sed.
Thank you and stay safe. Adrian Prietos of GMA Regional TV, 1 Western Visayas.
Enhanced community quarantine continues to be in effect in Cebu. Thus, local outbound flights have been canceled, while quarantine violators are arrested. Let us know more about the scenario in metro cities of Cebu in this live report of Luan Mayrondina of GMA Regional TV, Balitang Bisdak. Luan?
Kate, at the onset of the President's announcement reverting Cebu City back to ECQ, the number of COVID-19 cases is still increasing, not only in Cebu City but also in the neighboring cities. In Lapu-Lapu City, because of the increasing number of patients with severe acute respiratory infections or SARI, the city hospital has mounted SARI tents outside the facility. The first SARI tent is now fully occupied.
Sud gyud sa pila ka semana no, nagsigi og saka ang admission nato. Labi na gyud sa ato mga pasyente nga dunay gipamati na gyud no. Ato sang gi asikaso sila maski naglisod ta pag kanang accommodate nila kay tungod sa kadaghan na gyud.
Dr. Oporto says that the demand for oxygen has likewise increased because of the number of patients with SARI and influenza-like illnesses or ILI. 30 to 40 oxygen tanks are now consumed daily. Still in Lapu-Lapu City, passengers of local outbound flights were dismayed with the cancellation of their flights from Cebu. Jake, not his real name, said he and other passengers were already on board a plane bound for Zamboanga. But they were offloaded from the flight after the airline was informed that Zamboanga LGU did not give permission for the plane to land.
Excited na tanan, sana man nahitabo. Excited na katos, manaog mo sa plane. Wala man mi choice ang lain dito sa Bagay ng kauban namo, nagstay na lang sa airport wala for June 24 katong rebook.
A spokesperson for Philippine Airlines through a text message said they had no other option but to cancel the flight. Another Cebu flight bound for General Santos City was also canceled because of the limited number of flights allowed to land by the General Santos LGU. Meanwhile, in Mandaue City, the City Council passed a resolution asking the city mayor to purchase a lot to be used as a cemetery. This following reports that the Mandaue City Public Cemetery is already full.
I know nga, na plano, pero wa na bita mathatagig priority. So at least sa nahitabo, it has been an eye-opener nga na naginit, kinahanglan na gyud. So balik ka na. I got also text messages sa mga pastors ka nakauban nato nga they said nga dahil sakto tinuod gyud na kay they also have this problem.
The Mandaue City Council has also asked for the purchase of a mortuary freezer which will be used at the morgue of the city hospital and a crematory van to facilitate the processing of dead bodies. In Cebu City, more than 300 individuals were arrested for violating quarantine protocols. Among them are 2 Indian nationals who went out to buy food without quarantine passes. Others were also arrested for not wearing masks.
We will enforce unsay kamanduan na mo gikan sa taas.
In Talisay City, Mayor Samsam Gulyas apologized to his constituents after the city's reclassification to MECQ. He said that he was not aware of the basis for upgrading the city's status because the number of COVID cases in Talisay is lower compared to other cities in the country. Recently, Cebu Governor Gwen Garcia said the province will appeal for Talisay City to be placed under GCQ. Talisay is under the jurisdiction of Cebu Province. Kate, as of today, Cebu City records 126 new confirmed cases, bringing the total number to 4,364. Deaths is at 73, while recoveries is at 2,092. Kate?
Thank you, Luan May Rondina of GMA Regional TV Balitang Bisdak.
OFWs who lost their jobs due to the pandemic and are left stranded in other countries resort to scavenging through garbage for their survival. Russell Simorio tells us more in this report.
One of hardest hit by the coronavirus pandemic are millions of overseas Filipino workers. Some were infected by the virus and some were stranded due to the lockdown. This group of OFWs in Riyadh lost their jobs due to the pandemic. A video from a netizen shows these OFWs scavenging garbage to find food to eat. With no work and no pay for the past 4 months, these OFWs are trying to find ways to survive.
Kasi nga po, sobrang tagal na din po ng walang trabaho, kaya yung iba po napipilitan na pong maghanap sa labas. Kasi nga po, wala na ding pagkukuhanan ng kitain.
According to Overseas Workers Welfare Administration Region 1, Saudi Arabia-based companies, particularly those involved in construction and food industry, have been downsizing since last year. One of these OFWs struggling to survive in Saudi Arabia is Caroline Pabuyo from Pangasinan. After losing her job in a hospital, she was forced to stay at an accommodation center provided by her agency. She says that she receives food packs from Philippine Overseas Labor Office, but it is not enough. She also fears that she might get infected with the virus since the accommodation center also serves as a quarantine facility of some high-risk individuals.
Sinasabi lang po namin na okay lang kami, pero sa totoo lang po, hirap na din po kami dahil po sa mga kasama naming na-expose sa COVID.
OWA Region 1 assured the public that they are now facilitating the repatriation of the affected OFWs.
Yung list of names ng Region 1, i-endorse ko yan sa Welfare Assistance Unit namin. Tapos sila ang mag-endorse niyan sa Polo, kung saan sila. Sabi mo, Riyadh. So sa Polo, Riyadh.
Together with cameraman Wilson C., I am Russell Simorio for GMA Regional TV.
Due to resurgence of cases of African swine fever in western Pangasinan, prices of live weight pig soared to as high as 147 pesos per kilo. King Guevara of GMA Regional TV Balitang Amyanan has the details live. King?
Kate, to stem the spread of African swine fever, the culling operation for infected hogs is still ongoing in different parts of Pangasinan. After 3 months of containing the viral disease, Pangasinan has recorded new cases of African swine fever. Blood tests taken from dead hogs in western Pangasinan confirmed that the pigs were infected by ASF.
Hindi pa rin control kasi halos pasimula pa lang ang mga to. Lalo na dito sa bayan ng Bani.
Culling operations of 500 hogs are being implemented in the towns of Anda, Bani, and Bolinao.
Kasi Alapinos magkaling sila. Pali dalawang barangay doon din ang kakaling nila.
Quarantine checkpoints were also set up to prevent the spread of ASF. Last year, hogs in Mapandan and in Bayambang were found positive for the swine disease. Early this year, the disease spread to 12 municipalities and 3 cities in Pangasinan and was later reported to have been contained by end of March. This was until the first week of June when sudden deaths of hogs were reported in 3 municipalities and 1 city in the province. Other hog deaths were reported in the municipality of San Fabian. However, the Office of the Provincial Veterinarian has yet to confirm if this was due to ASF. To date, 17 municipalities and 4 cities have been affected by ASF since its first outbreak in 2019.
Nag-conduct po kami ng disease investigation. So may mga clinical sign po kasi na para po ma-confirm po yung clinical sign na yun, kailangan po makunan sila ng blood sample.
The resurgence of ASF in Pangasinan has resulted in a shortage of pork supply. From 120 pesos per kilo, the price of live weight pigs spiked to 147 pesos per kilo.
Sobrang hirap. Hindi na papasok yung puhunan. Nalulugi na. Sobrang taas ng live weight ngayon.
The price of pork in some supermarkets in the province is now at 220 pesos to 260 pesos per kilo from 190 to 200 pesos per kilo. Kate, the Office of the Provincial Veterinarian here in the province of Pangasinan continues to monitor African swine fever as more towns record more hog deaths. Kate?
Thank you, King Guevara of GMA Regional TV Balitang Amyanan.
In western Visayas, separate shooting incidents transpired within a span of a week. In Bacolod City, a Belgian national died at the hands of a notorious robbery group, while in Iloilo, a member of the Provincial Drug Enforcement Unit was killed by members of the New People's Army. Adrian Prietos has the details.
The Bacolod City Police Office has identified the notorious Ipogon robbery group to be responsible for the death of a 76-year-old Belgian national. According to police investigation, 4 armed suspects entered the house of Belgian national Carl Nollens early Wednesday morning in Barangay Villamonte by detaching a slide window located at the 2nd floor of the house. The suspects hogtied a foreigner's brother-in-law who first sensed their presence. It was believed that Nollins fought back, prompting the suspects to shoot him dead. The armed robbers fled the scene, taking with them a bag containing cash and jewelries. The victim's wife is in the hospital after trying to escape by jumping from the balcony. A police officer assigned to the Provincial Drug Enforcement Unit of the Iloilo Police Provincial Office was shot dead in Tubungan, Iloilo by 4 gunmen who identified themselves as members of the New People's Army. According to Tubungan Police, Master Sergeant Arnel Paurillo was waiting for intelligence operative to plan the arrest of a wanted person when the shooting took place.
Siya isa ka operatives nagpatigayon sa pag-arrest sa mga CCP-NPA that has pending warrant of arrest.
The NPA Napoleon Tumagtang Command admitted to the killing, saying that the slain policeman is part of a drug syndicate. The IPPO denies the rebel group's claim. In Barangay Tagbak, Haro, Iloilo City, a senior citizen was shot dead by riding in tandem suspects. According to the residents, an unidentified motorcycle was seen circling the neighborhood 2 nights before the shooting.
Tiyog yan nakita ko may nakita ko nga igo naman sa chest siya. Kaya mo to diyon nga natumba siya, kulob naman. Tapos yung palapitan sa akin tiro, 3 pa.
Herbert Katakutan Jr., 63 years old, was killed sustaining multiple gunshot wounds. The police is looking at a land dispute as possible motive of the crime. Together with cameraman Reynald Castillo, I'm Adrian Prietos for GMA Regional TV.
As modified general community quarantine is extended over North Central Luzon and Bicol, health protocols and precautionary measures remain. Rain Palino of GMA Regional TV Bicol has the details live. Rain?
Said with the extension of modified general community quarantine over the provinces of North Central Luzon and Bicol, public transportation has resumed operation, while commercial flights in Bicol have also resumed. In Naga City, some jeepney drivers at the northbound terminal rejoiced with the resumption of operations after 3 months. More routes at the southbound terminal as well as vans within Camarines Sur were also permitted. As mandated by the IATF, safety protocols such as 50% passenger capacity and thermal scanning are being strictly implemented. Meanwhile, van driver Del Prado is frustrated that Naga Legazpi trips have not yet resumed.
Sa Erega Legazpi, dapat naman tinawa ng permit. Anong nangyari? Itong Erega Legazpi, tapos ngayon, tatawan nila permit na. Naga to Erega. Magulo.
Last June 14, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines announced that Naga, Masbate and Legazpi airports have resumed commercial flights going to and from Manila. Only repatriated OFWs, locally stranded individuals, and authorized persons outside residence are allowed to travel given that they provide necessary documents such as medical certificate, travel order, and company ID.
So para wala na pong aberya o wala nang masyadong problema pagdating dito sa Legazpi, i-ano lang po, i-comply lang yung nasabi ko mga requirements para sa LSI, para sa APOR, and then para dun sa OFW.
Since Wednesday, the Land Transportation Office Naga has impounded 6 Colorum vans from the National Capital Region, transporting passengers with no travel authority. The Naga City LGU coordinated with other LGUs to help these passengers return to their respective towns.
To ayaw magpasakay sa amin, ma'am. Nagmakaawa lang po ako. Sinakay po niya kami. Hindi ko naman po ganun, ma'am, na ganito palang abot namin, ma'am. Ang hiling ko lang po, ma'am, makauwi na kami sa Tarlac.
Mas maganda po kung magkipag-coordinate po sila sa local government unit para matulungan sila at magduman sila sa tamang proseso, lalo na sa mga health protocols. Kesa po yung mga meron ho na tatawag sa kanila, ito nag-offer na ganyan, tapos sasakay po sila. Pagka ito po ay nahuli, baka mamaya mabala pa sila.
Pangasinan is now under modified general community quarantine until the end of the month. Despite the downgrading of the quarantine status, checkpoint restrictions are still in place. Meanwhile, some establishments are now open at 50% capacity, such as clothing and accessory shops, bookstores and office supply, flower shops, fitness gyms, cinemas, karaoke bars, and dine-in restaurants. Curfew hours from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. are still in effect, and non-essential travel of persons 20 years old and below and those 60 years old and above are still prohibited. The whole of Region 1 and Cordillera Administrative Region is under MGCQ until June 30, as well as Nueva Ecija, Pampanga, and Angeles City. Tarlac is under GCQ until the end of the month. Said local authorities continue to remind public to strictly follow health protocols and comply with requirements to limit the spread of COVID-19. Said,
Thank you, Rain Palino of GMA Regional TV BICOL.
The Interagency Task Force announced that the cities of Davao and Zamboanga will remain under general community quarantine until the end of the month. We have Rial Soroche of GMA Regional TV 1 Mindanao for the details. Live, Rial.
Kate, as quarantine measures relax and dine-in services in food establishments resume, Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte fears the possible rise in COVID-19 cases in the city. As the general community quarantine over Davao City was extended, Mayor Sara Duterte said the city will abide by the guidelines set by the National IATF. However, although regulations to control movement within the city were put in place, she is concerned that this may still cause a possible rise in COVID-19 cases now that more people are going out. More establishments have reopened and travel restrictions have eased.
Kung di ta kinahanglan mo gawas sa ato ang balay because di man pud ta mo palit og pagkaon, di ta mo palit og tambal, di ta kinahanglan mo ato sa ospital or magtrabaho, magpundot gihapon ta sa ato ang balay because doon na tayo community quarantine.
Despite being under GCQ, dine-in services have resumed in the city. This eatery in Shrine Hills already accepts a limited number of customers, while this restaurant, which used to have 10 tables, now only has 3. Meanwhile, a food hall in this mall in Lanang has extended its dining area to offer more space for their tenants. The staff wear face masks, face shields, and gloves, while customers need to sanitize first and fill up a health declaration form. Each table must only have one chair where those with takeout orders can wait. In Zamboanga City, the local task force COVID-19 will lift the Sunday lockdown starting tomorrow. Curfew hours will be shortened from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. the following day. Religious activities are now allowed, but health protocols should be strictly followed. At the Shrine of Our Lady of the Pilar, there are markers on the concrete benches where mask-goers can sit down to observe social distancing. However, members of the Zamboanga City Chamber of Commerce and Industry are dismayed by the extension of GCQ in the city, saying businesses are affected with the limited movement of the people and transportation. They already sent a letter to the National IATF justifying the city's readiness to be placed under modified GCQ. Mayor Beng Climaco expressed her support to put the city under MGCQ, but with strict monitoring in barangays.
Strengthen the monitoring in our barangay health emergency response. Secondly, to provide opportunities for data collection and contact tracing. Next is also, we need to also prepare a system and a module where every individual Zamboangueño is responsible enough when they are in public.
Again, authorities is stressing the importance of social distancing and staying at home. Kate?
Thank you, Rial Soroche of GMA Regional TV 1 Mindanao.
An Ilonggo art exhibit aims to reflect on the realities of the COVID-19 pandemic. Daryl Marie Sarmiento has the details.
While art is sometimes pleasing to the eye and mind, there are also works of art that depicts reality which may be disturbed rather than the light and seeks to be understood. Ultimately, art mirrors an underlying message through the medium an artist chooses.
50 years from now, 100 years from now, if you put this on your wall, sa balay mo man o sa office mo, ang imo nga mga kabataan, mga apo mo will see this work and they will remember sang 2020, gali may COVID pandemic kita, amo ini ang work na ginobra sa mga artists from Iloilo to remind us of what happened then, na nakasurvive sila.
In an exhibit entitled Breath of Life, Artworks in the Time of COVID-19, more than 100 artists from all over Western Visayas gave their own interpretation of the realities faced during the pandemic.
That's when we started to come up with this idea nga breath of life siya kay art will provide is the healing power of art amid the pandemic.
Jason, one of the artists, created his artwork on an image of a face mask. For him, the mask symbolized the struggles to prevent the spread of the virus. In one of his pieces, he illustrated a surgical mask with images of a canned good and a 50 peso bill.
Biskan manggaranon ka pa, biskan privilege ka pa, hindi ka kasigurado kung ano matabo sa imo. So mo nang nga painting nga may dilatas ang symbolizing ang mga pagkaon sa leaf goods, and then ang pesos, 50 pesos ga-symbolize ang kwarta mo. So may gibutang mo ko nga writings nga no approved therapeutic claims. Nga ang kwarta kag ang imo privileges hindi makasigurado nga ikaw masalbar sa amuni.
In these challenging times, expressing oneself through art allows one to delve deeper into the lives of the people, not to romanticize sufferings, yet find hope and faith that sprouts from every experience. Together with cameraman Hans Christian Desierto, Daryl Marie Sarmiento, and this is my short docu.
A university in Pangasinan aims to produce ethanol alcohol from the nipa or palm tree. CJ Torida has the details.
June and Cristina Arboleda have owned the nipa plantation in Barangay Balocac West, Lingayen, Pangasinan since 1990. The plantation sustained their family and helped send their children to school.
Pati sa pang-araw-araw naming pagkain, kung wala kaming panggastos o dili ako sa yung allowance ng mga anak ko nag-aral, diyan kami kukuha, nagpapaor kami, tapos ibenta.
Tatay June, now 68, and Nanay Cristina, 62, supports each other in growing palm trees in their backyard. Tatay June started losing his vision 3 years ago. Despite his condition, he still manages to extract juice from nipa trees.
Maraming natutulungan talaga yan. Dito sa mga kapitbahay, kung halimbawa kailangan nila yung mga suka, pwede namin silang mabigyan.
From nipa trees, one can produce vinegar from its extract, while its leaves can be used as roofing material for houses. The Pangasinan State University is studying the possibility of using extract of the nipa tree in making ethanol alcohol, especially since there is a shortage of alcohol in the market.
In order for us to have alcohol, kailangan natin ng sugar. It is sugar that we convert into alcohol. Very abundant here in Pangasinan.
The university is looking for nipa or palm tree producers for the project. The distilling facility is being prepared for the immediate operation of ethanol alcohol production, which will produce a cheaper type of rubbing alcohol made from the versatile nipa. I am CJ Torida for GMA Regional TV.
In Western Visayas, personnel from the Bureau of Fire Protection 6 breached health protocols on the island of Boracay, leading to 8 BFP6 employees being relieved of their posts. Daryl Marie Sarmiento of GMA Regional TV 1 Western Visayas has the details live. Daryl?
Said after several efforts made, including an uptight implementation of health protocols to stop the further spread of the virus, only to be violated by a controversial frontliner. The island of Boracay opened to local tourists from Western Visayas last Tuesday, June 16, 2020, but the opening was met with apprehension and hesitation after a BFP personnel was supposed to be in quarantine in Iloilo City was discovered to have stayed on the island from June 12 to June 14, pending results of a swab test. The 26-year-old female BFP personnel was later confirmed positive for COVID-19 on June 14 while still on the island. As a result, 8 out of the 28 employees of the Bureau of Fire Protection Region 6 who traveled to Boracay were ordered relieved of their duty by the DALG, including outgoing Regional Director Roderick Aguto. The group was confirmed to have attended a despedida party on the island. The other 20 personnel will also be issued relief orders following the pronouncement of DALG Secretary Eduardo Año.
Posible sa masunod na huwag na ang paggawa sa order ang ma-include na.
According to the incoming BFP6 Regional Director, Senior Superintendent Jerry Candido, the 28 personnel will be subjected to an investigation led by Chief Superintendent Roel Jeremy Diaz. They assured the public of a swift, reliable, and just investigation.
ina-assure ko na wala whitewash kung sino manabat kay kadakugit ang damage ng lugar.
Candido is set to arrive in the city this Sunday. His top priority will be instilling the utmost discipline among the ranks, considering that their reputation was badly damaged after the incident. Meanwhile, the Malay LGU revealed that no conference was held in Boracay last weekend, contrary to what the PFP-6 personnel alleged, in order to gain entry to the island.
May kasunong kapon nga katuan ng investigahan kung sino-sino itong mga tao sa lipuyan nila nga servicemen.
After contact tracing, 35 individuals in Malaya clan were found to have close contact with a COVID-19 positive BFP personnel. The Department of Tourism Region 6 has revoked the certificate of authority to operate an accreditation of the resort that accommodated the BFP personnel prior to the scheduled opening of the island for local tourists. Said authorities further stated that they will not tolerate such irresponsible action. Meanwhile, the modified general community quarantine in Western Visayas is extended until June 30, 2020. Said,
Thank you, Daryl Marie Sarmiento of GMA Regional TV 1, Western Visayas.
Have you ever met a dog who's not only a vegetarian but a fruitarian as well? Let us get to know this unique story of a dog that has an appetite of a human through this report of Cecil Kibod Castro.
Potatoes, carrots, tomatoes, bagu beans, sweet potatoes, banana, and santol. Mango, dragon fruit, apple, pomelo, and coconut meat are this dog's favorites, as well as insulin plant and sayote. Meet Leo, the 6-month-old Lhasa Apso, Shih Tzu, and Maltese mix. He is a playful puppy, but despite his small size, Leo is also a guard dog. His tender and sweet personality is the reason why he is the baby boy of the family. He regularly goes to his vet for checkup and weighs 5.4 kilos. And do you think that only rabbits gobble on carrots? Yes, that's right. Carrots is one of Leo's favorite vegetables. Broccoli, kangkong, and radish. He also picks on malunggay and munches on corn.
When we first got him, my mom gave him corn, and from there we tried to introduce different fruits and vegetables to his diet. But we also had to make sure that everything we were feeding him was okay for the dogs to eat. So now we introduce different fruits and vegetables to see if he actually likes them. Like bananas, he hates them so much, but he loves tomatoes and bagu beans and coconuts. And lately he's been trying to get into santol and guava.
Leo is truly amazing and is a living proof that dogs, if well taken care of, can also live a healthy lifestyle. Cecil Kibod Castro for GMA Regional TV.
In celebration of GMA Network's 70th anniversary, GMA Regional TV visited the barangays in Dagupan and Iloilo City and gave free breakfast to more than 200 residents.
55-year-old Julieta lives with her 95-year-old mother in this small hut in Barangay Lanit in Haro, Iloilo City. She does not have a permanent job and relies mostly on planting and selling vegetables to earn a living.
Daan makita ko daan mga tramnunon, mga utan-utan daan nga gamay Ngara lang may uton tanon, kailangan may buligya nga gamay kung sino mabakalan, may lima-lima ka lang pwede na may bakal ka lang sudan.
Rosemary, on the other hand, has 9 kids to feed. Just like Julieta, she and her husband also plant vegetables to provide for the family.
Ulan kag init ang amon ginasulay para matapos lang ang amon nga obra.
Julieta and Rosemary were just some of the over 100 residents who received free breakfast from GMA Regional TV's Kapuso Barangayan on Wheels.
Nagapasalamat gid ako sa mga bulig nila. Nakapiyan-piyan man ini nga mga pagkaon nga ginhatag nila sa amon, makabulig man sa akong mga anak.
Nagapasalamat gid ako sa GMA Kapuso Barangayan on Wheels nga ila man gipili ang amon barangay sa sini nga tinion nga nagbulig man babusog sa mga tao diri.
After accepting the breakfast, Julieta immediately went home to her mother and shared the food with her.
kamot ya kay man hulo panilihig di asta to sa paan to panilihig ubray nesun dugay madigamo.
Salamat nga dako gini naton nga salamat nga dako nga sa aton nga ginbulig sa akon.
Barangay Lanit-Haro is the third barangay in Iloilo City visited by Kapuso Barangayan on Wheels. Most residents of the barangay are considered indigent and mostly rely on planting vegetables to earn a living. Aside from the free breakfast, the beneficiaries also received the personal messages from GMA Regional TV 1 Western Visayas anchors and correspondents. Meanwhile, GMA Regional TV Dagupan held its second Kapuso Barangayan on Wheels at Barangay Bunuan Guset, Dagupan City. More than 100 residents received food packs. One of them is Aling Virginia, an avid fan of local newscasts GMA Regional TV Balitang Amyanan. Aling Virginia has 8 children and a husband whose only livelihood is fishing.
Sobrang nakakatulong po para may pangrahis ang isang araw po, may pagkain ng mga anak ko.
Nagpapasalamat po kami sa mga biyayang ipinagkakaloob nila sa mga constituent namin. At sana po tuloy-tuloy po sana ang pagbigay ng mga goods para doon sa mga least fortunate na mga tao.
Kapuso Barangayan on Wheels will visit more barangays in different areas in the Philippines as GMA Regional TV continues its promise of being buong puso para sa Pilipino. Together with Marvin Lauderes, Cedfrey Cabaluna for GMA Regional TV. In celebration of Father's Day tomorrow, let us pay tribute to the sacrifices of hard-working fathers who persevere despite their circumstances to support their families. Zen Kilantang tells us more in this report.
In Leganes, Iloilo, Ronald Parohinog sells chicharon and balot to provide for the needs of his 4 children. 7 years ago, Ronald was electrocuted and lost his 2 hands. His wife left him to single-handedly take care of his 3 children. 2 years ago, he met Rena, and now they are parents to a beautiful 6-month-old daughter. Despite his disability, he personally prepares and cooks the balut he sells to neighboring barangays in a pedicab. Ronald dreams that his children can finish school to have better lives.
Simple mo lang, sir, makatapos na pag-eskwela ang kabataan. Mo lang na mapamtang na suli sa mayat nga. Kaya lagi akong may ineskwelahan mo.
In Lawak, Pangasinan, life may be sour to some, but not so to Manong Ramon, who supports his family by making sugarcane vinegar. He learned to make vinegar in his study of agriculture in Israel, and which later became a family business. Their products are now shipped not only in Pangasinan, but to different provinces in the Philippines.
Sa awa ng Diyos, nakapagpatapos ako ng aking 2 anak at mayroon pang isang nasa kolehiyo din. Bali 3 nang nasa kolehiyo. Katunayan po, nasa Israel po yung isa nag-OOGT.
In Cebu City, despite the fear that he will be infected with COVID-19, a father and a dedicated policeman continues to serve as a frontliner. Police Senior Master Sergeant Janu Villame is one of those assigned to the streets to implement health protocols. He is the grandson of Boholan novelty singer Yoyo Villame, has been in the PNP service for more than 15 years, and is also a member of the PRO7 band. Being a frontliner, Villame has not visited his wife and 2 daughters in Bohol for the past 5 months.
Yes ma'am, para ma-encourage sa itong mga kauban nga labi na nasa field karon nga mag-ingkamot lang kagyapon nga kuan. Di sila mawadag paglaom nga mutabang gyapon sa atong mga katawhan. Buhaton lang gyud ang tanan para makatabang sa atong mga katawhan.
Kanunay nga andam tanang kapulisan. Ang serbisyo di anay bantay sa kadalanan aron masigurong luwas ang katawhan.
His experience inspired him to compose an original composition as a reminder of the police efforts against COVID-19. Together with cameraman Romel Porquia, Zen Kilantang for GMA Regional TV.
Happy Father's Day to all our fathers out there.
Yes, thank you so much for all of your sacrifices.
Continue to watch updates in the region because local news matters.
You can watch this episode and more on GMA Regional TV's official YouTube channel. Just click the subscribe button to get the hottest news from the regions.
That was the biggest and the latest news from the regions. Thank you for joining us from around the Philippines as well as our kapuso abroad.
This has been GMA Regional TV Weekend News.
Where local news matters. Good evening, mga kapuso.